Hello! And welcome back to the Curious Kid Podcast, episode number 300. Whether you've been listening from the beginning, or whether this is the very first episode you're listening to, we appreciate you. We've said it before, and I'll say it again. The podcast is not about me, Olivia and Noah. It's about you, our listeners.
When we go to school, we learn in classes. How many kids are in your school class? Noah and I both have about 20 kids in our school classes. We love our teachers, and we've learned so much with their help. It's amazing to know that instead of reaching about 20 learners, like many school teachers do, during the school day, our episodes are listened to by tens of thousands of people every day. When we started the podcast, we never dreamed it would reach such a large audience. To be honest, when we started the podcast, I didn't think a lot about it at all because I wasn't even 2 years old yet. Even though it's incredible to know that Curious Kid Podcast is enjoyed by so many people around the world, it's also a huge responsibility.
It's a huge responsibility because we have to be certain that the information in each episode is accurate. Sure, it's important for the episodes to be fun and enjoyable too, but being certain that every fact is accurate is most important to us. Each episode you listen to involves about 12 hours of work on our end, and all that work starts with the research we do on each topic.
Throughout the learning journey, it's been really important for us to include the listeners as much as possible. Ever since we had enough listeners to ask them for topic suggestions, we've been getting curious about topics for you.
When we first started, we did listener suggestion episodes every 5 weeks because we didn't have enough listeners yet. We were averaging about 20 or 30 downloads per day in our first few weeks. After about 6 months, we had enough listeners to do listener-suggested episodes every other week. 1 year in, the podcast was big enough to do listener-suggested episodes every week. And these days, we have a list of thousands of topics that have been suggested by our listeners that we hope to get to soon. Every once in a while, on these big milestone episodes, like episode 300 this week, I think it's a great idea to get curious for the curious kids themselves, Olivia and Noah. First up is Olivia. It turns out that the topic Olivia wants to get curious about has been suggested by a couple of listeners as well. So you know what time it is.
Double mailbag!
Double mailbag!
I love your podcast. My favorite episodes were on teeth and on bones. I am really curious about teeth, and I would like you guys to get curious about cavities and how they form. I've had a cavity once at the dentist, and I would also like you to get curious about braces or your gums in your teeth, because I'm so curious about teeth. Thank you, and can you do an episode on one of those in one of your future podcasts?
Hi, this is Chaya, Meir, Sarah, Sima, Menachem, and Mushka from Great Neck, New York. We are huge fans of your podcast and have loved listening to it evolve over the years. We are curious about soda, dentists, the digestive system, clocks, braces, and cell phones versus landlines. Keep up the great work. We've learned so much.
I'm also super curious about braces because I got braces in January. It's awesome that there are other listeners that are curious about braces too. To the listeners that left the voicemail, it was such a sweet message, and we want to thank you for being a big fan of the podcast. The only thing your voicemail was missing was your name. Since your voicemail was spectacular, I hope it's okay if we call you Spectacular. And as for the stupendous family from New York that sent us the email, we want to thank you for listening to the podcast long enough to hear the evolution of the podcast. It sounded a whole lot different at the beginning. Also, if you're curious about the digestive system, we did an episode a while back that covers the basics of the digestive system. But we call it something else. Go back and listen to the episode titled Curious About Pee and Poop for lots of great info on the digestive system. We can't wait to get curious about braces for Spectacular, Chaya, Mayor, Sarah, Sima, Menachem, Mushka, and me.
There is so much to cover this week. We are going to get curious about braces first for Olivia and the listeners that wanted to learn more about them. Then, we are going to get curious for Noah in a supersized, unbelievable facts you need to know segment. Finally, we are going to hear lots of the wonderful messages you sent us to congratulate us on 300 episodes of Curious Kid Podcast. There is a lot to get to, so let's get to the question of the week.
A doctor in France is credited with being the first doctor to make a set of braces. For this, he is known as the father of modern dentistry. The question of the week is, how long ago did he create the first set of braces, which were made using a piece of metal connected to teeth by a thread?
That doctor was onto something, because braces have become very popular for helping people transform their smiles. There are about 4 million people wearing braces in the United States right now. Today, we're going to talk about what braces are, how they work, some fun facts, and even a bit of history about these metal mouth miracles. We're also going to find out if braces really turn you into a human antenna that picks up radio signals.
Spoiler alert? No, but that would be cool. Braces are a tool that orthodontists, which are basically special dentists, use to straighten teeth and fix things like overbites, underbites, and crooked teeth.
They use brackets, wires, and sometimes tiny rubber bands to gently move your teeth into the right position over time. It's kind of like a slow motion dance for your teeth.
Teeth aren't stuck in a place like you might think. They sit in something called the periodontal ligament, which is stretchy and allows teeth to move very, very slowly.
Each tooth is like a mini bone that's constantly growing and changing. That's why braces work. They guide your teeth into better alignment.
Braces can also help fix things like crowding, where your teeth are squished together, or gaps, where there's too much space between teeth.
The idea of braces goes way back to the ancient Egyptians who used catgut, which is basically animal intestines, to tie their teeth together to keep them straight.
Did you just say animal intestines? That is so gross. I'm glad I didn't have to get braces when that was a thing.
Thankfully, things got more modern over time. A French dentist named Pierre Fauchard invented something called the bandeau, which was a horseshoe-shaped piece of metal that looked a bit like a mouthguard that helped strengthen teeth.
Even though it worked pretty well, it wasn't too comfortable. Over the years, technology improved. Soon, dentists started using gold wires and rubber bands for braces. About 50 years ago, they started gluing brackets directly onto teeth, like the braces we know today. Braces really have come a long way, from animal guts to high-tech wires.
That's true. Let's learn about how they actually work. The brackets in braces are glued to each tooth, and the wire running through them creates tension. Over time, that tension moves your teeth into the right spots.
Sometimes, especially in the first few days, your teeth can get sore after getting braces. That soreness means the braces are working. It's like your teeth are exercising. They're a little sore at first, but they get stronger and healthier.
And those colorful rubber bands you see on braces, they help guide your teeth into the perfect position too.
Here are some rapid-fire fun facts about braces. Even though they contain metal, braces are not magnetic, so you don't have to worry because they won't stick to your fridge.
Braces are often made of a material called nickel titanium, which was originally developed by NASA.
The average person wears braces for about 2 years. I think I'm going to have mine on for about 1.5 years.
Some people even decorate their braces with special colors for holidays, sports teams, or just for fun.
Right now, my braces are blue and orange for the Mets. With colors, braces can be kind of like a fashion statement.
Since you've been wearing braces for a couple of months, and it's possible that many of our listeners might get braces at some point in the near future, why don't you tell everyone what it's like?
It can be an adjustment. You have to avoid super sticky or hard foods like caramel and popcorn because they can damage your braces. Brushing your teeth well becomes even more important with braces because food can get stuck around the brackets and wires. It really takes a few weeks to get fully comfortable wearing braces. Now that I'm a couple months in, I'm totally used to it.
And the big payoff is that the braces will help you get a straight and healthy smile. Braces don't just make your teeth look nice, but they also help you chew better and prevent problems like cavities and gum disease.
And you can look back and say, "Yay, I survived braces." Sometimes they might even let you keep your braces after they take them off as a weird souvenir.
All right, Olivia, time to answer the question of the week. How long ago did French physician Pierre Fauchard invent the first version of modern braces using metal?
He created braces all the way back in 1728, 297 years ago. That was 4 years before George Washington was born, so that's really a long time ago.
That's amazing. Olivia, you can give your teeth and braces a rest because your brother is about to join us. He usually gives us 5 unbelievable facts about our topic of the week. But this is episode 300, so 5 facts isn't going to cut it this week. Lately, Noah has been super fascinated by geography, and he has shared absolutely mind-blowing facts with me that he's discovered doing his own research. He is here to wow you with not 5, not 10, not 15, but 20 unbelievable geography facts that you need to know. Take it away, Noah.
Fact number 1. The Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean in the world. It actually covers more area than all of the continents combined. Fact number 2. There are 195 countries in the world. The smallest one is Vatican City, which is actually inside of Rome, Italy. It is only 121 acres big, and the population of Vatican City is less than 800 people. In comparison, the city I live in has about 31,000 people. Fact number 3. You're not going to believe which country has the longest coastline in the world. It's actually Canada, which has over 125,000 miles or 200,000 kilometers of coastline. Fact number 4. There is a place called Four Corners where you can be in Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico at the same time. Fact number 5. Alaska happens to be the westernmost, easternmost, and northernmost state because it crosses the international date line. Fact number 6. Lake Superior is so large that it can cover all of North and South America in a foot of water. Fact number 7. Africa is slowly splitting into 2 along something called the East African Rift. Over time, the split will create a new ocean. Fact number 8. France has the most time zones of any country, with 12 time zones. Meanwhile, the 3rd largest country in the world, China, has only 1 time zone. Fact number 9. The country of Kiribati is so spread out that it covers all 4 of Earth's hemispheres. Fact number 10. The only place in the world where 3 countries meet at one point is the tri-border of Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay. Fact number 11. Maine is the closest state to Africa. Fact number 12. Most Canadians live south of Seattle, Washington. Fact number 13. If the world were as crowded as New York City, everyone could fit into Texas. Fact number 14. It's possible to walk from the United States to Russia during the winter when the Bering Strait freezes over. Fact number 15. 90% of the world's population lives in the northern hemisphere. Fact number 16. Continents move continuously about the same rate that your fingernails grow. Fact number 17. Russia and China both touch 14 countries each. Fact number 18. Istanbul is the only major city resting on 2 continents. Fact number 19. 42 buildings in New York have their own zip code. And fact number 20. Africa is bigger than China, the United States, India, and Western Europe put together. Now it's time for me to grab a drink of water because that was a lot of talking.
Noah, it was totally worth it. Those facts were really unbelievable. I think that many of our listeners will be eager to share a bunch of those facts with their family and friends. Speaking of our listeners, so many of you were kind enough to send us a message to congratulate us on episode 300 of the podcast. We are about to play a bunch of those messages for you. And after you listen to them, we encourage you to go back and listen to the very first episode of Curious Kid Podcast. We think you will be shocked at how much things have changed over the years. The podcast has changed as much as braces have changed from using animal intestines to using metal created by NASA. Thanks for being with us on this 300 episode journey. And here's to another 300 episodes of learning fun facts for years to come. As always, thank you so much for listening and getting curious with us.
Hello, my name is Luis from Houston, Texas. Congratulations on your 300th episode.
Hi, my name is Luke, and congratulations on 300 episodes on your podcast. Bye. Thank you.
Hey, Curious Kids. This is Ashley and my daughter,
Ivy.
We're from Columbus, Ohio, and we want to say
Congratulations.
on your 300th episode.
Hi, Jacob and Olivia. My name is Clement, and I live in South Australia, and I'm 4.5 years old, and I've been listening since I was a baby. Congratulations for having 300 episodes. Hi, I'm Clayton. I'm from Adelaide, South Australia. I'm 7 years old. I've been listening since I'm 4. My favourite episode is Zodiac Fan. I'm just here to wish you a big congratulations for 300 episodes. Yay!
Hello, Olivia, Jacob, and Noah. We are 10-year-old triplets from Thailand, Ari, Ob, and Ira. We love your podcast, and we are here to congratulate your 300th episode. Thank you.
Hey guys, congratulations from Texas on your 300 episodes.
Hello!
300.
Congratulations, guys, on 300. Patrick and Leo from Hagerstown, Maryland, love listening to your podcast, and so does their baby brother, Johnny Mac. Congratulations, guys. You're awesome. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Curious Kid Podcast. My name is Mateo from San Rafael, California. Congratulations on your 300 episodes. Bye. Thank you for all the episodes you've made. I'm so excited to hear the 300th episode. This is Judah from Washington, D.C.
Hi, it's the Sachs family.
Congratulations
on your 300th episode.
What a great accomplishment. That's a lot of talking.
And a lot of learning. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hi, this is Ronan from Fenton, Michigan. Congrats on 300 episodes. Bye-bye.
Congratulations, Olivia and Noah.
Congratulations, Olivia and Noah.
My name is Adalia.
My name is Emian.
I'm 5 years old.
I'm 7 years old, and I live in Canada.
And I love your podcast.
I love your podcast about electricity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jacob and Olivia, it's time for some trivia. What podcast is the best? It leaves no room for the rest. I'll give you a clue. It's the one with the two of you. Kids, the answer. Best podcast forever. From Florence in Mont-Tremblant, Canada.